Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, aka Eager. Alright, today sucked, but I'm literally just like floating. I was just like floating. That's it. My elo for GBL is at 24. I basically tanked, gain tank, gain tank, gain tank, gain tank, gain tank, gain tank, trying to understand Premier Cup, and just like, it's the way of Master League. You could play your best, but you can still get outplayed, you can still lose, and all this other stuff. In other words, I just managed. I think I went 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. So 3 sets of 3-2, 2-3, 2-3, and then 1-4. So I basically the 1-4 like erased my the 1-4 pretty much was the only thing that mattered as far as like what happened today. That lost a lot of elo. You know it's what it is. Just keep on tapping. At this point, I'm kind of just giving up on the race to rank 10. I'm gonna just keep playing until the season ends. I just really don't expect to hit rank 10 at this point. I messed around way too much at the beginning. In Great League and Ultra League, I only played my best lines for a week. So that means including this week with Master League and my last 2 weeks, I only played the entire 2 months and some change that GBL's been out. Only 2 weeks I've played at full power. So those 4 weeks I spent jerking around, not really jerking around, I still try to win. They weren't my best lines at all. They really cost me. So, or not really my best line, just my best lines. My Ultra League lines didn't really work. I didn't play one team the entire time, and I figured out how to like play a really good team that really worked for me in Ultra League at the last week. Same thing with Great League. I only played my really good Great League team that I'm playing right now. That's my main team for a week, so that's what it is. So for Master League and for Premier Cup, I'm going to do my absolute best for the next 11 days, I think, or so. Yeah. So I think we have like 2 weeks still of like. No, I think we have. Let's see. Yeah. So we have like. I think there are like 18 days left in the season or something like that, so I'm going to do my best, and we'll see what happens. That's basically what you can do. Just keep on tapping. Don't let today define who you are. I'm a good battler. I know I am. I'm an insane person. I'm really damn good at what I do. It's just, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So, like I said, it ain't over yet. Never give up. There's 18 days left. In 18 days, I can still make a comeback. So, I think I made it a week before it ended, like literally before the last day of Master League, I made it. So I made it with 8 days left. So I gotta just keep trying and play hard, and hopefully things work out. We'll see what happens. I'll do my best. But yeah, on to the PV Poke section, and then we'll go to the TikTok section. Alright, so here's pvpoke.com. As I always say, if you would like, please contribute. This is just like I do with every one of my blog videos. This is just like a short little summary. So this is kind of like I always do this now. Like I do a short little PV Poke session before I go into like my TikTok, and I do just like shoutcast battles, or like I just show some stuff. So the Premier Cup I'm running is actually Dragon. So I'm going through Premier League, Premier Cup, which is like my first time was yesterday. Now I was running Togekiss, a Metagross, and Snorlax as a save switch. And Snorlax is a good save switch because you have a lot of key wins, as you see over here. There's a lot of the only problem is with Snorlax is that you kinda, as you see, you lose against Togekiss Dragonite, but you beat all these other ones. So you have very strong matchups against certain mons. And I am actually using a superpower variant. I'm actually not using the Earthquake variant. So I'm probably going to switch to Earthquake, to be honest with you. But I kind of like superpower just because it's gotten me out of ruts more than once. Like, people are shocked. They're like, oh my god, this guy has superpower. Because you get the superpower not relatively quickly, just because of Lick, but you get there quick. So I was running Togekiss, Metagross, Snorlax. It's a very basic line. Not super basic, but pretty basic. It's not extremely hard to play, and it gives you, like, the reason why I ran Metagross is because of the closest scenario. Your leads, of course, Togekiss stands at number 4. And Garchomp shot to number 1 as the lead, and I can see why, because it wins against Dragonite, Metagross. You beat this core. The thing about Garchomp, though, is that beating Dragonite is very dependent on like energy. For example, Dragonite can take a Sandtomb. It can take like 7 Sandtombs. As long as it doesn't get hit by Outrage, you are fine. That's the thing about Garchomp. So I don't like Garchomp personally using it as a lead just because even though you beat all these, it's a Dragon I like Dragonite better. So I'm using Dragonite. I'm actually using Dragonite. So this is my Premier Cup team: Dragonite, Snorlax, Metagross. I'm gonna run a sim real quick just to show you how good it is and just to showcase how much why I like this team so much. So we get Dragonite into a Togekiss. This is horrifying. I'm going to switch out to my safe switch, which is going to be Snorlax. Now we realign perfectly. Dragonite has a very strong match. Actually, that's a Dragon Breath Gyarados. Never mind. We don't have a strong matchup against that Gyarados. Oh boy, that's a thick boy. Well, it's not a thick. Well, I have a thick boy. But Gyarados with Dragon Breath does so much damage. What we want to do here is we want to break the shields that or do as much damage as possible before we switch into Dragonite. I know Togekiss is in the lead, so Metagross has a very strong matchup against Togekiss. So we're going to keep doing body slimes here. I'm going to just keep body slime. I will not shield anything. And the reason why is because Snorlax, we're just sacking Snorlax at this point. I 90% will never shield with Snorlax unless I'm sure I'm going to lose the matchup. Just because Snorlax, like, we pop the shield and Gyarados is within farm range. So we're just going to blast down Gyarados. There's no reason for me to shield anything. We can expect that Togekiss to come out. So I'm not going to shield this. I'm going to leave 2 shields for my Metagross. My opponent doesn't know I have Metagross. That's your advantage. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to get this Togekiss back in. I'm going to shoot the Hurricane. This Togekiss should pop its final shield. If it doesn't, that's fine. I hope it does. Please pop your last shield. Perfect. And now we send in Metagross. With 2 shields, Metagross has a very dominant matchup against pretty much anything. As long as, against anything. Now that's a Garchomp. Now Garchomp's recommended moveset is Outrage Sandtomb. They can still run Earthquake. So there's still a heavy possibility that this Garchomp will still have Earthquake. But what I'm going to do here is, all I'm going to do is just shield everything. Because if you look at the energy gain, like you can't, like, okay, see, there's an Earthquake. If that Earthquake lands, I die. Because Earthquake is still a very viable moveset on Garchomp. It's 65 energy. You can get there relatively fast with Mudshot because Mudshot generates 9 energy. So it only takes, I think, 7. If you do the math, it's 7. So 7 Mudshots to an Earthquake. That's really fast. As you see here, we completely dominate the AI, and we still have a shield. That's what I like about the Dragonite Metagross core is incredibly powerful, and Snorlax is just a monster of a safe switch. It is very spammy, and it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. It has combo capabilities too. That's why I like Snorlax. And that's pretty much it. I'm dabbling into Premier Cup. I think this is the easiest cup to get to rank 10 versus Master League because Master League is Dialga Central. And you'll see why on my TikTok next. So today was really interesting, like I said. At least I got a bunch of TikTok views. Like this one with Articuno got like a lot of views fast. Like as you see, like today's like TikTok videos I posted got a lot of progress. Especially especially this one, like the one where I'm blasting through shields. But I'm gonna do a short shoutcast for each one. So Articuno, I had to give it up because it's just so hard to play Articuno. That's the big problem. Articuno is incredibly difficult to play. Yes, you can 5-0 with it, but it takes extreme amounts of skill. And if you there's so many scenarios where you could lose the lead and the back row. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult, like I said. But anyways, back to my TikTok things. These are, I think, the 6 posts that I posted today. This one right here, you see Articuno on Articuno. The mirror is just a really iffy thing. As you see here, I send in my Registeel to wall Articuno. This is a strategy I wish I used earlier because Registeel is just that strong. Whether it's best buddied or not, as you see here, it's very, very powerful. And it walls Giratina and it walls Cresselia. So because it walls Giratina and walls Cresselia, it walls Articuno. That's 3 things Registeel walls. So I wish I used this strategy a hell of a lot back then. As you see here, I just put an insane amount of pressure with Shadow Swampert. Keep on firing these Hydro Cannons. My opponent, I managed to draw the second shield here. I shield just because I feel like this, because of the Grass Knots, Now, this won't KO here. Focus Blast will not in fact KO. And then this Earthquake should land, and then it should leave this thing almost dead to where I can farm it down. And then I have a Hydro Cannon left. My opponent elects to quit instead of taking the L like a champion. He just, well, it was over anyways. That's just the advantage of using Shadow Swampert. It does so much damage compared to regular Swampert that you can Earthquake and then farm down and have energy for the next one. That's why I love Shadow Swampert for Ultra League. Next is his 5-0. His 5-0 was when I was listening to Jimma stream. As you saw here, it has Sonic music. That's why this comment says, I love Sonic music. You gotta love that Sonic music. Here I have the Armored Mewtwo versus my Registeel, and he unfortunately gets punched in the face as soon as I start doing this commentary. We laser beam it down, and we get a Shiftry. This is a really interesting thing, because Shiftry in Ultra League is very strong. As you see here, I decide to let my Registeel go, and this thing is just going to town. My opponent switches out, but before I switch out, I make sure I get energy first, because I want to combo in. My opponent does Focus Blast, and I manage to grab that shield. Well, actually, I use my shield to defend. I call it right. As you see here, I'm just heavily Hydro Canning because there's no point. I want to pop that final shield and farm down. I managed to do that. Here comes the Hydro Cannon. Remember that combo I said? Here comes the combo. Break the final shield, combo with the Articuno, and that's GG's. And this is a 5-0. This season really made me good at comboing my moves together. So queuing moves and then just comboing, I got so much better at doing that thanks to this season. Next to our next battle, our next one. I think this one is not really that great. I dominate here. As you see, Icy Winds go off. We lower the Mewtwo's attack. And because I'm sending Registeel, I'm not going to shield here because since you're debuffed, even if this is a dynamic punch, I can take it pretty well. As you see here, it's 2 Psy Strikes, and that does 25% of my health. And I have loaded energy on my Registeel. I elect to Focus Blast here. We grab a shield, and that's Swampert. I want to grab a second one, so I try to bait here. I probably should straight up Focus Blast it, as you see there. Calls the bait. My opponent calls the bait very well. Hydro Cannons me down. I'm going to try to get one more shot here. I elect to start using my shield because I want to queue a move or I want to get rid of this Swampert. My Swampert should get that Swampert does take that final shot. I send in my Shadow Swampert after farming down with my Shadow Swampert. And then all I have to do is get 2 Hydro Cannons here, which at full HP and with the shield is totally possible. As you see here, the Hydro Cannons go off. 2 Hydro Cannons do kill as long as they land. And that's GG's to my opponent. Expert energy advantage and just using your shields wisely. Now here's one with Master League. Mewtwo basically never saw the day of battle. As you see here, I win the lead and then I switch into Groudon. Now for this match, I'm just going to straight Fire Punch. I want to like start baiting shields here. As you see here, I managed to grab one and then I go for the Earthquake. Now I believe my opponent shields here, so he played it really smart. There's a second shield. And then all I'm going to do is expend my shield here because I want to keep switch. As you see here, I can expect them to switch back in. I send in my Articuno, and this is what pisses me off. The Shadow Ball goes off, Icy Winds go off, and then I actually get to another Icy Wind. My opponent gets insanely... Actually, no, I don't get to it. Actually, I do. Because he Omnis Winds me, and an Omnis Wind, like, Shadow Down does go down. I win back by switch, and then they send in the Melmetal. I have an Earthquake queued, and that is GG's. Because all I'm going to do is gather a little bit of energy here, Earthquake you down, and then punch your poor little... freaking Metagross in the face, and that is GG's. As you see, energy advantage is key, and energy advantage will win you match, as you saw there. Next, I have Garchomp into my Artie. Now, that's dangerous, so if my opponent decides to switch out, I switch into my Mewtwo because this Kyogre works my entire team except Mewtwo, and we're just going to straight up Side Strike here. I get 2 Side Strikes off, breaking both shields, and then I can get to the third. So I get a third Side Strike off. Now, my opponent elects to shoot, and I actually, watch, this is a really sweet play. I shield the Surf, gather energy, and I actually get enough energy. They send in Garchomp, which I was hoping to, because I was only 1 Side Strike away. And as you see here, boom. That does so much damage. My opponent sends in their Melmetal. They send their Melmetal, and I just switch into Groudon, and this is GG's. As you see here, I get a little bit of extra energy. Because there's no reason for me to throw my energy right away because this Melmetal has such a weak matchup. And I get to 2 Earthquakes, and that is GG's. I could have Fire Punched and then sent in Articuno, but I just wanted to get rid of it right away just to make sure I get the W. Solidify your wins. Don't do something dumb. If you want to do something dumb, do it at the beginning, not at the end. And then that's basically what it is. And now this one over here, as you see, I get this Melmetal switched into me. I win advantage. I get Groudon, take out the Melmetal, get a Giratina. I just start punching this thing to death. I should have went for the Earthquake, but I just really wasn't sure how long I would be able to survive. As you see here, I don't know. I didn't know if I would get enough to an Earthquake, and that's fine here. Now here's what's not okay. You see that title where it says he got the boost? Yeah. They get the boost in T-minus, I think it's now. Well, they got the boost, like, first, like, if you saw before. So you got the boost. And now this guy's just gonna boost fist, so this, all you do is just throw Obvious Wind to death. But now your attack's, like, at normal again because of 2 Icy Winds. My opponent's switch is in the Dialga, and this is GG's. Even if you have the boost, like with Articuno, Articuno is very strong against boosted Giratinas just because it can take it down, back down. And as you see here, we just completely dominate my opponent. We Focus Blast onto Sertera, the the best buddy Dialga, and then we just go for a Side Strike, and that's GG's. As you see, very good matches. Those are very good wins. I will start putting some Premier content tomorrow, like just showcasing my Premier Cup. I'm really looking at a team that I can use for tomorrow. So I'm going to practice tonight, and then we're going to use that team for tomorrow. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 3. Like I said, just keep on tapping. It's going to suck. You're going to have days where you're going to tilt, and it's just going to be really bad. But make sure you just keep on tapping, and we still have time. It's not over yet. There's still time. Play hard, work hard, and you may or may not reach your goals today, but you'll reach your goals later on. All right, have a good one. Have a good night, you guys.